Last week we heard from the Z's that many of us are already in 2030 consciousness, and it is likely to rise yet further as the landscape will have changed significantly by 2030. This is indeed a time of the Great Awakening and the Great Remembering of who humanity really is. The chaos you see around you is by design, and it is destined to start the awakening journey for many more. So in a weird kind of way, the chaos is a cause for celebration, as it represents the breaking down of the old false matrix systems that do not serve humanity. They will be replaced by alternative forms of governance, corporations, healthcare, that serve the many rather than the few. Everything remains in divine order. Humanity is very much on track for the new earth and a new level of consciousness to seed itself through many who in turn become the road builders for those that follow. This week, the Z's complete the lowdown on how 2026 to 2030 will play out. It's fascinating stuff, and it helps us to maintain our divine neutrality and inner peace despite the drama that presents itself around us. Everything you ever need is within you already. Individually, we're powerful. Collectively, we're an unstoppable force for positive change. A world of unspeakable beauty awaits. Hi there, everybody. This is John Drew here from Elevated Planet.
And Jolé Gabrielle here from Elevated Planet. And we'd like to welcome you to today's show where we've got a lot in store for you. And John is going to tell us more about it.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I hesitate to use the word exciting because I think a lot of what's going to be spoken about today really speaks to what is gone on in the world in the last few days, which means that effectively a new war to get to grips with. And Lee Harris and the Z's talk to this, and it helps to build a perspective around this, which is all very important. And we're going to kind of lean on to Alan Watts a bit again at the halfway stage of this today. And also, just to mention, we're gonna do Lee and the Z's today to do the rest of that broadcast which we began last week. So we did the first 10 minutes last week. We're going to pick up on that today, and we're going to see it through to the end, which is quite a long swathe. It's about 20 odd minutes, 28 minutes or something like that. But it is so full of gold, right? This is exactly what we need to hear right now. And given that this was recorded by them, a couple of months ago, so they're talking about it as like, into the future, but actually some of that future is happening right now around us. And I think that's really powerful because this is what it tells you is that whilst there are events around us that you would not want to be happening, everything is in divine order. This is exactly how it's supposed to play out because it's here to awaken many people on the planet. It's here for us to wake up to the magnificence of who we are, and that is the ultimate outcome. Now that goes across, a bit of time, if you like, to kind of get there. But if you think there are billions of people still asleep through all this that's going on, this is the chance to awaken. And again, everybody has that divine timing when they're supposed to come online. And some of these are the trigger events that will be taking place over these next few months and years. So it's a fascinating time to be on the planet. And hi to Karina, hi to Joy, hi to Donna. Fantastic having you here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to everybody else who's with us as well. But yeah, Jolé, we're going to leap into this fairly quickly, aren't we? What do you want to add before we do that?
Yeah, he's got so many gems that are coming through, the blessings and the gifts that are coming through mankind right now and humanity for us. It's a lot of information, but just know that at the end of it, it's just kind of giving you a roadmap on how to navigate through these times inwardly as well as outwardly, because we create our own reality. So let's get into it.
Yes, let's do that. So without any further ado, we're going back to Lee Harris and the Z's to continue where they left off last week. And again, anybody who didn't see that, in the details below will be the link to last week's show as well. So you can always catch up on the first 10 minutes retrospectively. Anyway, without further ado, here we go. Bear with me a second. We'll switch screens.
Collaborative community spirit is going to be Very important. And it's going to be something that many of you are not only cultivating and developing, but you will also be, some of you will be helping create templates for this for the future. For you, it may be innate to know how to connect with another human. But for someone who has never had a connection with another human on a heart level, on a deep level, on a level where they didn't need to defend themselves for fear of attack, they do not know how to do this. They need help. They need way showers. And in the coming few years, many of you are going to naturally be falling into your gifts, meaning gifts you have that are quite normal to you will rise to the surface in your work, or in your way of being, or in your relationships, or your communities. You will get to see the part of you that was here to seed oneness on earth. And you will see increasing evidence of oneness on earth. And by 2030, the landscape will have changed quite dramatically. You will also, by that year, be even more aware of your cosmic origins, your cosmic relationship, meaning the fact that you are not just a human being on earth, you are a human being on earth in the universe. And the universe is getting busier, more active, and there is more of a desire for, we will say, a merging of contact between humans and other beings. More of a desire for the merging of contact. You are going to see this play out more, particularly from 2027 and 2028 onwards, but it is already increasing in frequency, regularity, and awareness. Some of you get a little caught up in your empathy in ways that doesn't always help you. So, we understand it is very painful for some of you to see what's playing out on earth. We understand it is very painful for you to see the way certain people will be treated by others. It doesn't make sense to you, and nor should it. But try not to spend too much time pulled over on the side of the road watching the car crash. Try not to spend too much time pulled over on the side of the road watching the car crash. If you focus on the car crash only, and you are not someone who is supposed to help in the car crash, you will start to feel depressed, in resonance with the energies that you see playing out for those in the car crash. So, for example, when war breaks out on your planet and you see people senselessly murdered, it breaks your heart, and you don't understand it, and nor should you, because this is not what you would create. But there has to be some acceptance that that is the planet you were born unto. And you may not have to like it. You may not have to ever agree to accept that this is what happens on earth. But in the moment for your life, you do need to accept it. Accept that it is happening. Not that you wish it to happen, not that you want it to happen. But to recognize that the pain you are feeling in resonance with the horror you may be privy to, whether it's in another country, whether it's on your doorstep. There is a war between your neighbors that breaks your heart and seems so unnecessary. But as you know, if these neighbors do not want to play this out with a therapist or their own self-awareness, they will play it out with each other. They will choose each other to embody and act out the wound with each other. It may be that one of them has the wound and the other one, the learning for them is to not get involved in the wound and find a way to peacefully end or close down the conversation. So, when we turn our attention to people for you between 2026 to 2030, you will see a diversity of feeling, thought, perspective, reaction, but overall, we will tell you this. In general, more people will be coming into their hearts in this next 5 years. More people will be coming more into their hearts in the next 5 years. And you may say, oh, good, because I am there right now and I want to join with them. And we say, yes, but by the time they are there, you will have moved somewhere else. You will still be in your heart. You will still be able to connect through the heart. But where you are going next is into multidimensional consciousness. Multidimensional consciousness is when your consciousness can include everything. It does not need to separate or segregate. It can hold space for every possibility, every eventuality, every actuality. Which is why we say to you, the difficult things you see on earth, or the car crash that you are pulled over on the side of the road watching, you do need to make peace with the ups and downs of life in order to be able to center and balance in the center of life. This is very important. So the good news we can give you about 2026 to 2030 is, yes, of course, there will be all kinds of fluctuations on the earth. This is normal. You are also in a time of intensity and change, which means the frequency of those will increase compared to how it would have looked 10 to 20 years ago. However, and this is very important, more of you are living in an elevated consciousness than ever before. And what this means is you are actually somewhat lifted off the earth when it comes to your resonance with old, dense frequencies. It doesn't mean you won't have compassion or empathy when you see them, but it does mean you will no longer feel drawn into them, synchronized with them, or resonant with them in a way that feels painful or heavy to you. You will be able to have an awareness of the compassion you feel for those who are in suffering, but you will no longer be pulled into suffering every time you see it. Why? You will have dealt with your own suffering. You will have spent a little more time with your own relationship to suffering, whether it's historical or present. Perhaps you suffered a lot in another life or in this life when you were young, and it has developed an extraordinary empathy in you, and that's a beautiful thing. And people enjoy feeling empathized with because they feel seen and met and heard. But for some of you, you will notice your point of empathy is going to shift. If you are already gifted with empathy, the gift won't go away, but how it permeates your body will change. Empathy is going to become less body-based and more etheric. Unless, of course, you're someone who needs to run all of that through your body, which is true for some. That's partly their design, or that's partly their need. There is always some alignment for the empath. An empath is never just doing things on behalf of others just to be of service. In terms of mirroring their feelings, feeling their feelings, there is something in that for the empath too. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. But many of you who are empathic have already made great headway around suffering in the last couple of years, and you are about to have an extraordinary breakthrough in the coming couple of years. You will find the consciousness of your heart becomes profound. The consciousness of your heart will become profound. And many of you who are used to perhaps using the gifts of your mind, your third eye, you will start to notice that a great deal of your thoughts, your feelings, your intuitions, they will, can, and do run through the heart. The heart chakra, the center of your chest, the original intelligence center. Humans were never supposed to move it up to their brain. You might say, well, then why is it there? And we understand that question. It is not that any parts of your biology are wrong. It is just that where you have been asked to place your attention is somewhat lacking. So as you move into 2026, don't be surprised if the first 6 months of the year starts with a little chaos. There will be some chaos globally. It will play out across multiple countries. Not all countries will be involved, but multiple countries will be. And this will create a little bit of instability in the world at large. But for many of you, while of course you may not enjoy anything that is unpeaceful happening in the world, it will not affect you in quite the way that it will affect others. It will affect and dislodge those whose sense of safety, security, or shall we say being somewhat asleep at the wheel, gets triggered. For many, this will be a time to wake up and to be woken up. So the first 6 months of 2026 will create a lot of moving parts, chaos energy, particularly the first 4 months. We will say February through the end of April, beginning of May, will be where some of the tumultuous events take place. But their design, and this is important to remember, is to wake people up. The design of the tumultuous events is always to wake people up, so that people stop living somewhat asleep at the wheel and begin living more from the heart and the divine intelligence in the heart. The other big shift that you will start to see is from 2028 onwards. Not only will centralization start to become a little less of a thing, meaning there will be more individuation between countries and to some degree continents. There will be more of that in the room in a few years. So you are about to move toward that period. You are 2 years away from that beginning to start. So that means over the next 2 years, there will be a lot of reshuffling around power. You will see certain countries losing power. You will see certain countries gaining power. You will see a shift, both economically, but also in terms of cultural habits, patterns, and feelings. You will see a lot of countries that have been downtrodden come up somewhat. And equally, you will see a lot of countries that have been less downtrodden take a little bit of a hit. Power is rebalancing across the planet. And it is non-discerning in the way it does this. But all of you are being asked to move out of what has been a, shall we say, money and mind-driven society, and moving into a heart-based society, a future that is built to last. That is what many of you came here to build the road for. Some of you will not see the road completed before the end of your life, others will. But it doesn't matter. Building the road is what matters and why you came here. So, from 2028 onwards, there will be more systems that mirror this lack of centralization, globalization, that will allow more of you to find ways to offer yourself to the world, be it your services, your work. More of you are going to be innovative around the way you work. And this is true for those of you who are unhappy right now with your work, the way you work. Work is going to be revolutionized from 2028 onwards. And at this point in time, we do not see AI as the horror story that many like to say it is. There is still a wonderful opportunity for humanity here to work closely with AI to allow certain progress and development. While the control is in the powers system that currently exists, of course AI can be corrupted, because that system likes to corrupt. But once that system has been, shall we say, flushed out a little bit more over the next few years, that will start to change. You are extraordinary beings. And this period of history, 2020 to 2030, is the period at which more of you will remember that. More of you will allow that to be your truth. More of you will let that through you. More of you will become that. The other thing we will say to those of you who are listening to this, who are feeling a little, shall we say, stuck right now, or like the new world can't come quick enough for you, go inwards more. Go inwards more. If you are not happy with your external life right now, go inwards more. Meditate, manifest, reflect, conjure, intend. Spend time in your inner world directing how you would like your outer world to go. As you become these energies on an internal level, you will start to magnetize external experiences, events, people, places that will match who you are becoming. And what we can tell you is that in the next 5 years, you are going to become quite the human on a spiritual quest. But not the kind of spiritual quest you may have already been on, where you are seeking answers, information, activation. No, that may be a part of your ongoing maintenance and learning. But no, you will be on a spiritual quest in your life, and the quest will be spreading, sharing, giving love. And for some of you, it will be discovering yourself, or discovering what it is you need to know about your work and your way in the world. So, 2026, February through early May, some global tumult. 2026 and 2027, a 2-year journey towards 2028, which will see you with evidence of not only more new earth groupings, technologies, offerings, but it will also move you all toward a place where the power and political system is beginning to change on earth, and be changed from the outside pressure and the inside innovators. Remember, there are those who have gone into politics to try and create a shift. They may be in the minority, but they are there. Do not forget this. And they will also re-energize and reactivate some of the ones who have fallen asleep in their job, who have become corrupted within the system. So, we invite you to take a nice steady breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So you are here with a 5-year span of time ahead of you. And our big question to you is, who do you want to be and what do you want to do with that 5 years? Some of you will already know. You may have even heard or felt it when we asked you that question. You see, we can speak to you about the coming 5 years and what they will bring, but it's equally important that we speak to you about you and who you would like to be in the coming 5 years. Why? You will affect the outcome. You will affect the outcome. So what happens globally in the next 5 years will be affected by the choices you make. So will you give yourself to higher consciousness? Will you allow yourself to live from a place of higher consciousness? And most importantly, remember this: you will not be leaving your loved ones if you elevate and they do not. You will still find ways to connect with them, and in some cases you may just be a little ahead of them, but they will catch up in many cases. So do not give up on those who may not be in resonance with you right now. But do recognize the size of the journey you have been through. Do recognize the size of the journey you have been through so far, and it will equip you for everything that is yet to come. The other aspect of the coming 5 years that many of you will enjoy are the medical advances and breakthroughs that you are going to see, particularly from 2028 onwards. It's not that they aren't there right now, but again, they are not always allowed into the public. Because of the stranglehold on medicine, they are not always allowed. So as some of the corruption we have spoken about gets dismantled, then healthy alternatives will be able to be brought forward so that you as people have more choice. As was spoken about earlier regarding modern medicine, traditional medicine versus alternative medicine. There are times where traditional medicine is very important and very vibrationally succinct to what you need. And of course, it is also extraordinary what has happened within your medical advances. When that becomes free of control in the way it is currently controlled, it will also be allowed to expand. So, this is the message we have to give to all of you. If you find yourself judging a person or a thing or an organization right now that you do not feel is high consciousness, have compassion for what it doesn't yet know how to become. Have compassion for what it doesn't yet know how to become. But have gratitude to yourself that you are willing to be here on this journey as a seed of consciousness on earth, and you are about to walk into an extraordinary 5 years. And for many of you, this next 5 years will hold more happiness, connection, presence, and peace than you have ever experienced in your life, as is true for many of you of the last few years. Even though you may say, well, it was a tough few years, for many of you, it is true that your new high point is the highest you have ever experienced. The new high point inside your mood, your perspective, your way of being. It is higher than what you experienced previously. So when you get around people who feel that vibration in you and they start to vibrate in resonance with you and they start to elevate, you are doing your job without even knowing you are doing your job. Yes. Many of you are ready for change in the outside world and you can't wait to see it happen, but we want to remind you there are so many changes you can make inside yourself or inside your own exterior life. That is the power that was bestowed upon you. That is the power that you are worldwide remembering. And that is the power of community that you are beginning to reconnect the dots around, because you are powerful as a group. Individual, yes, powerful. Group, that is another level. So this is also why it's important that you find each other and work in community when desired and when you can. Together you amplify. Together you rise. Together you create the new world every single day. Take a moment to make a wish from your heart. You may wish to place your palm face down on your heart chakra, the center of your chest, and perhaps make a wish for what you would like to experience in the next 12 months. Who would you like to become? Where would you like to go? What would you like to experience? These are all good questions if you don't receive anything organically. But as you have your hand over your heart chakra, we ask you to send your wish for the next 12 months out into the universe. Your wish may be, I am ready to experience an all-new level of love. Your wish may be, I am ready to create a magnificent job for myself. Your wish may be, may I become the healthiest version of myself I have ever been in the next year. Make your wish. Trust your wish. And now allow your wish to play out in your life in the coming months and year. (2026 to 2030), the energy field of the earth will be about openness. Openness to change, openness to the new, openness within the self. Are you ready to open to your next level of life? Good. The years to come will provide. In peace, in love, and in higher consciousness to all.
And we're back. So I've got to say, the Lee and the Z's, absolutely top notch. There's not a lot that you can add to that, other than just focusing on certain key elements. Because again, as I said at the outset, this is all about divine timing, okay? And they're talking about the tumultuous events of February through till early May. We're seeing that play out right now, as we know. 28th of May, I think, was maybe the beginning of it, which was the day that the planetary alignment took place with 6 planets in an absolute alignment, a very rare event. And the energies were very much on target for what we are witnessing right now. And I think that some of the important stuff that really comes through to me is all about this multidimensional consciousness and the ability to hold space and hold peace for all that happens around you. So regardless of what is playing out, you can still find that place of inner peace, that eagle's perch, okay? That, the ability to be able to accept everything. Because when we chose to come to this planet, we knew the time we were heading for. We knew we were here at a time of great change. And I honestly, totally, 100% believe that it is a true honor to be here on the planet right now. I mean, there are billions of people still asleep. And what is playing out right now is in divine order because it is helping to wake people up. People will be stepping into their compassion. They will be getting into that space which says, well, no longer in my name. Is this acceptable? And that is what it takes for people to kind of begin the journey from head to heart. Because, we've been a slave race for thousands upon thousands of years where we have been fed a type of consciousness which is not playing to our strengths. We are on the prophecy planet, we are destined to be the architects, right? We are destined to be those amazing beings in the thousands upon thousands of years to come. It's all an evolutionary process, but we've been held down for so long, and this is part of what is playing out right now. And one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, in fact, what I wanted to do was to kind of just share this Alan Watts piece again, and it's important right now for very obvious reasons when we play through this. We've done it a couple of times before, but again, timing is everything. Everything the Z's have just said about how to take a step back to get into that multidimensional heart-based consciousness, and that February to May tumultuous events that are designed to wake people up are taking place. And again, what we've got to recognize, again, as we've spoken about on many occasions, is that the whole universal mirror thing, which is whatever we put out there is what gets reflected back to us. So at times like this, and again, it comes back to, when we do our Pam meditations on Thursday or whenever in the week you may do it, because obviously she does it, or it's out there to be done 7 days a week. But it's about magnetizing that new earth consciousness to us, right? It's about getting into that quantum wave structure in a high frequency energy and bringing about love and kindness and compassion and everything that we want to see in the world. So the Alan Watts thing here, again, I think is really appropriate. So I'm just going to touch into that very quickly. So bear with me a second. We're going to switch screens again for the moment.
The best way to end something is to let it starve. You see, conflict thrives on attention. The moment you engage, you feed it. And whatever you feed grows. But if you simply let it be, if you withdraw your energy, it withers away, like a fire deprived of air. The world is built on patterns, loops of cause and effect. Most people stay trapped within them, reacting endlessly, playing the same game over and over. But here's the secret. You don't have to play. Step back, and the game collapses. Step away, and new pathways unfold. Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you wish to move forward, let go. Do not return negativity. Do not wrestle with what seeks to pull you in. Instead, remove yourself entirely. Break the cycle, and life will adjust to your absence. This is where real power lies. Not in resistance, but in redirection. You are not bound to old loops. You are the creator of new ones.
And we're back. So, yeah, I just think that is so on point right now. Where do we feed our energy? Do you feed it into the horror of the war? Or Do you redirect your energy? Do you redirect your energy to what you want to see in the future? Again, because that's again what we do with the Pan meditations. And the power lies within. It's not in what goes on in the external world. It's all here. So again, our community have been with us for so long, and I really, really, truly value you being here week in, week out. We already know this stuff. But the opportunity is stepping up now for us to be those light bearers, to extend our community outwards. And I'll mention this again, sharing these videos, please, because YouTube don't share these videos really very far and wide, even for those who are subscribed. So we need to kind of do this thing ourselves. Again, I mentioned it before, and I do appreciate it because I know I've already had messages back saying, no, I shared it with 3 people. I'd shared it, because the kind of people who will value this, and you'll know the kind of people who are not ready for it yet. But wherever you can, please do, broaden out that throw out that net and see if we can help to build our community. Because the point the Z's keep making is the importance of community, because that is where the future lies. You go back to, in fact, my daughter shared something with me this last weekend, which is all about the indigenous folks and talking about how they have always been in community. They have always, money doesn't exist on, within these areas. They just simply work together communally, and that is what we're heading back to. We're heading back to the wisdom of the ancients. And I think that is ultimately some years down the line, but nevertheless, it's a wonderful, they've been the wisdom holders for the thousands of years where we've been deflected, of course, through no fault of our own, because this was always part of the design as well. There always had to be the wisdom keepers, but then there always had to be those who went out and explored the polarity, the extremes of the polarity, and getting into the headspace rather than the heart. And that's the journey that we've been on. But now the journey back has begun, and it all started on the 22nd of December 2012, at the start of that new era. And the old earth energy has to play out, because this is the time when we pull everybody back into who is ready for that journey to get back into the heart, which is the true original intelligence center. And a lot of the intellectuals out there will obviously refuse to believe that, because they're probably not at that level. And I do think many of the real intellectuals out there can have a real problem with this, because again, they maybe thrived on the old version of education. And again, it's down to everybody. It's individuated expression and individuated journeys to play out what they want to play out. I do like the fact that we got something to look forward to 2028 onwards. I think we got 26, 27 obviously is going to be a time of extreme change, and it will be chaos to varying degrees. And I think these next couple of months are really going to be absolutely prime with that. But then I think the idea is, when we look forward to these medical innovations finally being released, okay, finally being allowed to come up, because, you think about it, right? And we've talked about this before on many occasions. 1923, when Royal Rife introduced the Rife machine, which was a cure for cancer, which used harmonic resonances and the likes to cancel out the wave structure of the cancer. And he was destroyed. He was not allowed to bring out what he did. These cures have been around for an awful long time, and finally they will be coming back. And the corporations that have been kind of holding the negativity, and that's likely, that's all going to be sinking away into the backdrop now. And as they say, it's going to be allowed. The corruption of the old system is going to fall away, but still have compassion for those systems yet, and for those people who don't yet know how to change, because they will get there. And that is something to really look forward to. So that's really all I want to say on that, and I want to bring Jolé back in for your words of wisdom, please, Jolé.
I think you summed it up nicely, John, with what's going on. And I just want to really hone in on the fact that, it is with us. We are the answer. And throughout the Z's and in the speaking of Alan Watts, it talks about the choices and decisions that we make to either engage or to create. And when he speaks the Z's speak about, the turmoil between February and May, this is when we want to really buckle down and do our work. Now we know that Mercury has gone into retrograde, and some people panic and see that as a time for, you know, I guess contraction or to go within. And it's true, but it's not something to fear. It's as if you can up level, speed up your healings, speed up your connection to technology in a better way. Technology, you're working with these things instead of being fearful away from them. So, whatever right now is giving you a problem, whatever is challenging you, it's time to lean in, right? Because even though people say this isn't the time, now this isn't the time to sign contracts or make big purchases, but it is time to make plans and to strategize and to lean into places where it is you may have challenges. And that's what is happening even in a world sort of way, in that there is this need for validation, need to be seen, need for attention, and the need to grab resources. Let us check ourselves and say, in what ways are we colonizing ourselves and our environment in ways that don't serve us? And seek to do something different, seek to speak truth to power in ourselves, and then we can move out into the environment. Because right now there's lots of chaos. So, but we're the answer. You are the answer. I am the answer in my life. You are the answer in your life.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it's interesting actually because as soon as you started talking about technology, it all started breaking up a bit. And I mean, the words still came through okay, but I thought, oh yeah, that's the Illuminati for you.
uh,
They've just been waiting for that bit. So
yeah. It's like, these things. And if you notice, we go to war, right? On a day where these six planets, like you spoke about, they're in alignment. Like there is things that are happening that are up that we also need to remember. We need to harness the power of these things instead of looking upon them under the guise of the mind control and conditioning that we've been accustomed to. It's time to take off some of these uh, veils and realize that we can work with nature. We can work with God. We can work with the universe to seek transformation within ourselves.
yes, indeed, and it's yeah, it's a beautiful thing, and I'm excited about the possibilities going forward. And I know there's a lot of denseness playing out there right now, but I know that it is by design. I know that it is designed to wake people up, and this is the other thing to bear in mind as well. And I know it sounds like it lacks compassion on some levels, but the fact is that we come in here with a life plan. And many people, and I've mentioned this before, come in with a life plan that says that they are going to, die in a global conflict. And part of the reason they're doing that is because that's their selfless sacrifice to help waking people up. And then they're going to come back when the new earth is resonating at a beautiful level, and they're going to be there back in the paradise that is awaiting us, our world of unspeakable beauty. So that's the other thing that to me it kind of helps me with that, like that multidimensional consciousness kind of idea, that when those people exit the planet, and there will be, I believe, a lot who could be going even maybe in this next couple of months. But that is part of the design, and we never truly die. Okay, we just shift form, right? We just cross over back home. This is the dream world. But this is where the soul test is. This is where we have the opportunity to grow and to learn. And it's a masterclass here on planet Earth. Incredible. So what do you think, Jolly? Do you think we should be heading towards meditation sometime very soon?
I think
Very
it's
cool.
time to get on with it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jolé. We will look forward to your words of wisdom. We're going to just literally just replay a few words of Lee and the Z's to lead us into Jolé's guided meditation. So if you bear with me a second, for one last time, we will switch screens, and we will let the magic happen.
Many of you are ready for change in the outside world and you can't wait to see it happen, but we want to remind you There are so many changes you can make inside yourself or inside your own exterior life. That is the power that was bestowed upon you. That is the power that you are worldwide remembering. And that is the power of community that you are beginning to reconnect the dots around, because you are powerful as a group. Individual, yes, powerful. Group, that is another level. So this is also why it's important that you find each other and work in community when desired and when you can. Together you amplify. Together you rise. Together you create the new world every single day.
Put your feet flat on the floor, your palms face up on your thighs. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest and breathe in life. Breathe out life. No more breathing out negativity. The same positivity going in is now the same positivity coming out. Evaporating, disintegrating any negativity between the in breath and the out. Resolving and dissolving disease, illness, anything you're ready to let go of and release as you breathe in this breath of life. A big, deep breath all the way to your belly. And you exhale so much love and life around you. As you breathe in love and light, you have so much to give. As you breathe out even more love and even more light. Coming from a place of gratitude and unconditional love, we ground our energy from our first chakra with the grounding cord that is 6 inches in diameter, all the way down into the core of Mother Earth. This is a grounding cord of a natural earth element, one that resonates with you. And while this grounding cord is rooting itself, your aura pulls itself in 1.5 feet around you. Your higher self stands at the power position, a comfortable distance above your crown, and your astral body snaps itself in, fitting inside of you like a hand fits inside of a glove. As you breathe in life deeply, you breathe in love, and you breathe out love, and you breathe out life into your environment. On the next breath in, visualize your crown opening like the lens of a camera. An 85% cosmic gold life force energy cascading down, raining down on your higher self. And in that space between your higher self and your crown, it begins to turn into these unconditional loving beads that just magnetize to the 50 trillion cells or however many in your body. Each single little golden droplet designed specifically for each unique cell. Let that happen while you take another deep breath in of love and of life. And on the exhale of life and of love, you're going to visualize your feet opening like the lens of a camera, calling in 15% earth energy of a color that resonates with you. Slow down your energy and gently see your feet chakras opening, and that earth energy, the warmth, the love, the health, the groundedness, pull gently in the bottoms of your feet and begin to travel up the side channels of your legs, creating a sound resonance within your body to resolve and dissolve disease, bringing in 40 hertz, the sound of Mother Earth and the divine combining together, creating a divine resonance of healing, of hope, of faith, of trust in who you are as this essence, as it comes together, begins to fill you up like water fills up a cup. Breathe in deeply. Breathe in life and love. Breathing out life and love as this essence moves into your hips, all the way up your core. Your hand chakras open, your heart chakras open. As this essence of Mother Earth and the divine begin to sprout out of your feet, hands, and crown chakras, as your heart is just pumping out so much love into you, your aura layer, filling it up, letting go of anything that no longer serves you, ready to let go of and release. And from this place of cleanliness, divine spiritual cleanliness, with lots of forgiveness, resolving and dissolving of the past, lots of the energy of Ho'oponopono moving through your cells, echoing, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, generating a resonance that is in alignment with the laws of the universe and with the quantum timeline, where you are aligned with your purpose and the universe is magnetizing to you all of your positive experiences back to you. So from this place of love, and as you're breathing in love and life, and you're breathing out even more life and love, and the resonance of wellness, the 40 hertz of healing and anti-aging are moving through your body from a heart-centered space. Visualize your most loving good. Create an external world around you that resonates with the high vibration and frequency, also known as your birthright. Remember who you are. Sit in this space of divine creation as the Creator places a golden sun filled with the energy of divine Creator. That is you. You have permission and you are allowed to create the life of your dreams, a life aligned with the most loving and highest part of you. So as this essence of Mother Earth and the divine runs through your body, And that golden sun giving you the powers to be a divine creator, which has always been your power. We're going to activate it. Feel this energy pulsate throughout your body as that portal between your heart and the center of your head opens, and you see your higher self grab that golden sun, bring it down through itself. And in that space between the higher self and your crown, this golden sun breaks into 50 trillion pieces, each one uniquely aligned to every single atom and cell in your body, filling it up with the energy, the inspiration, the motivation, the unfoldment of a divine creator with divine leadership, compassion, movement, forgiveness. As this moves down through your body, mixing in with the earth energy and the divine life force energy, as you breathe in love and life, and you breathe out even more love and life. You are so filled with life, so filled with love as your heart just bursts with those loving vibrations out into your aura layer, into your environment, as that essence then goes down the grounding cord, chasing those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles down into the core of Mother Earth, where they turn into positive creative life force energy for anyone to use. While this vision and revelation of your future that is now resonates throughout your entire body, environment, taking you to the new timeline, the one of unspeakable beauty. The work is within, as you are the answer. So see outside of you a beautiful golden heart being created from your heart, right on the ground in front of you. And in this beautiful golden heart, I want you to put all of the people that you know and that you love, those with dis-ease and illness and those without, and put them in this heart of love. And it just expands to take in all of the people and see this beautiful golden light, pure light from divine, shine down on each and every one of these people, bringing them wellness. And as they begin to heal and to grow, they create a circle of their own, which is attached to yours, linked. And they put their people in there. And it keeps growing. And these hearts that are linked with all of this healing energy, connecting us all to one another in the most loving and best way. As we send healing energy to those we love, we see them heal and grow and step outside of our circle, creating their own circle, but still linked with our circle. And then their people step out of their circle and move into their circle. And we all just become one. And the elders step out of the circle and they join hands, the heart circle. And we just all join hands because we're healed now. And our hearts are open as we just share love unconditionally, first for ourselves and then for those around us. As we align with our vision and purpose, So take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, visualize your crown closing like the lens of a camera. And gently, that beautiful, golden, vibrant, cosmic life force energy gently ascends back up through the higher self, all the way up, but still being accessible at any time. As that golden energy settles within you, your aura layer, you take another deep breath in. And on the exhale, close your hands and your heart chakra and allow for that love and that divinity to just settle all around you as your aura layer is just iridescent and glowing with so much unconditional love and enthusiasm and joy for life. As you take another deep breath in, and on the exhale, you close your feet chakras and you see that earth energy recede just right beneath your feet. There, anytime you need it, as you walk in truth and Mother Earth supports you. Take another deep breath in, and on the exhale, you can open your eyes.
That was beautiful. Feel like I'm on a bit of a high there. And I love the idea of us being amplifiers, right? Drawing in the energy and breathing out even more of the same energy.
We need it.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Important. It's no depletion whatsoever. It's just about breathing in love, breathing out love.
That is very much of this time. That is very much what we need to remember. And, so much gratitude and so much love to Lee Harris and the Z's, to Alan Watts, who obviously he's been on the other side now for 50 odd years, but nevertheless his wisdom lives on, as indeed does he. I'm sure he's influencing things and pulling strings from the other side as well. But, it's just a beautiful thing that I think that when you can kind of embody what we're talking about here, that Z's have talked about, that multidimensional consciousness, that absolutely enables you to be the amplifier, as per the meditation, for love, for joy, so that we're not getting caught up in the energy of fight. We're not getting caught up in the energy of war. We are not feeding that monster. We are basically here standing round and adding to that quantum wave structure with positive, loving energy. It's beautiful. Thank you, Jolé, and thank you, as always, to the communities. Again, beautiful comments coming through, and thank you to everybody who's here with us. We're on a journey together, and
Yes, thank you.
when we share this information out there, share it again to whoever needs it. Now, we mentioned last week, actually, I thought I'd better mention this because I said when we get to March, we become this donation-based channel. We're getting closer, right? We're getting the Patreon accounts set up. Again, this will be purely voluntary because we don't want to make our work exclusive. It's only for those who wish to contribute to help us keep the ship afloat because it's a bit expensive these days. But nevertheless, we do it through love. We do it because it's a message that needs to be shared. And, we love doing it. So whoever can be financially on that journey with us as well. And if you are not in a position to back that financially, then that is perfectly fine as well. So I suppose in wrap up, then we will be having the newsletter out there tomorrow with the edited version of this show. And, I always add a few extra elements to the edited version, so do check it out. And I do think actually this is a show that's worth watching time and again because I've learned a lot going through this Lee Harris and the Z's thing time and again, doing the little editing pieces, doing the visuals on it. And the more I've listened to it, the more I've embodied it, you know, the more at peace I feel. The more,
Yes.
I am excited about the future, regardless of the external.
Yes, it is a practice.
For sure it is. And you know, the meditation again, absolutely I'll be repeating that time and again because I think that was absolutely nailed and it's right on message. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
final last message, thought there, Jolé. What would that
As
be?
always, please like, share, and subscribe, especially if you hear something that resonates or you know that someone could use it. The meditation, the show, we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And again, anybody who wants to join our distribution list, email to johndrew@elevatedplanet.life, or come through our elevatedplanet.life website, the contact page, which is a free format contact box. Thank you to everybody who's reached out in recent times. Apologies if I've been a little bit slow getting back because I've been away for a few days, but nevertheless, we will always get back to you. So don't worry, it will be dealt with. And I think that's it, Jolé. Would you agree?
Yes, that is it. Thank you so much.
We love you, and we will see you in a few days' time. If you can make the PAM meditation on Thursday, we'll be intending to do that.
Yes.
And back again on the Sunday again. So love you. Take care.
Bye-bye.